My friend Bill and I are sitting in the balcony at the Hollywood Palladium, listening to an announcement along with 3,500 of our closest friends. Well, no, we didn't know who the fuck those people were. Below us on the stage is one of the disc jockeys from KMET, which was a rock radio station in Los Angeles many years ago, and a producer. And they were explaining to us what we were going to be experiencing that day. They made two announcements. Both were very disappointing for entirely different reasons. The first announcement was we would not be performing with the Blues Brothers. We were there to film the Blues Brothers movie. And you can imagine how disappointed all these people were that we weren't going to be working with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. However, we ended up working with a guy named Cab Calloway. I did not know who Cab Calloway was at that moment, but I found out. So, very disappointed, right? The other announcement that they made that was equally disappointing was, we're filming a movie here. This is not a rock concert. So you can't smoke anything inside the hall. And you can imagine the audience reaction to that. You got no Blues Brothers and no smoking. So we start. The first part of the day involves shooting what is the finale concert in the film, when the Blues Brothers don't show up and their manager, played by Cab Calloway, has to stand in for them. And he performs his signature hit. Again, I didn't know who he was. I think I'd heard of Minnie the Moocher. No idea what it was or why this was important. 3,500 people in this hall. Cab Calloway starts doing Minnie the Moocher. Hidey, 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 hidey. Oh, you guys know this. So imagine 3,500 people respond like that. Hody, 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 ho. Hody, 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 ho. Thank you so much. That feels good. And they all respond. And then and 3,500 people attempt to scat with Cab Calloway. It's a disaster, but this is a disaster by design because it's hysterical, right? So we have a great time. Then we break for lunch, which consisted of a mostly plucked half a chicken and a warm Pepsi. Thank you, food services, craft services. And then we went back into the venue for the afternoon shoot. And the afternoon shoot involved the entry into the venue of 200 law enforcement officers from various jurisdictions. The Hollywood Palladium is playing the Rock Island Theater in Rock Island, Illinois. So we shoot a take where 100 officers each come through the two rear doors up the aisles from the back of the Hollywood Palladium all the way up to the front. John Candy, who is playing one of the lead law enforcement officers, has dialogue. They shoot a take, and then there's some conference, and then they say, okay, we're going to do another take. We're going to do it a little differently this time. Because we're basically giving Cab Calloway a standing ovation as they're coming in. She says, we want you to stand up, only we don't want you to actually clap or otherwise make any noise. Pretend that you're cheering. Pretend that you're clapping. And that way they were able to record audio so that they could at least have a reference track for looping later. So they come in. I got to tell you, watching 3,500 people appear to give somebody a standing ovation when all you're really hearing is the sound of loose jewelry. It's kind of weird. So I took a break at some point during the afternoon, went downstairs. Hollywood Palladium is a beautiful old theater. If you've never been in there, you should check it out. The restrooms in the Hollywood Palladium are amazing. It's like Art Deco. So, had to use the restroom. Opened the restroom door. Oh my God, it's a Stanley Kubrick movie. You know, if you know, he likes his restroom scenes. Inside the men's room, in the lobby of the Hollywood Palladium, there was about a foot of smoke hanging below the ceiling. There was a ring of 6 guys standing in between the 2 sets of stalls on either side. Each one had a joint. 6 guys, 6 joints. Take a hit off a joint, pass it to the guy to your right as the guy to your left is passing you a joint. And literally, the joints are moving around. Nobody doesn't have a joint. Everybody has a joint. And then all of a sudden, the door to the restroom opens, and there's a cop standing there. And all 6 of these guys, on reflex, flick and flush. 6 toilets all at the same time. I'm wondering if Water and Power didn't notice there was some drop in pressure, at that point. And this cop starts laughing hysterically. And we're all standing there looking at him. And then we realize he's wearing the uniform of an Illinois state trooper. Yeah, he's us, only he has a costume. And at this point, fake cop realizes that we have realized he's a fake cop. That guy disappeared so fast. So what I got out of this experience that day, I learned later that when Dan Aykroyd was adapting these characters that he and John Belushi had created for a film, that before he wrote the screenplay to the film, he wrote what they refer to as the Blues Brothers Bible. And if anybody knows about show running, the Bible is basically not a script. It's more than a script. It's everything. And he wrote a Bible that included the Blues Brothers' relationships to artists from soul music, from blues music. If you've seen the movie, you know the kinds of people. James Brown is in it, Aretha Franklin is in it. They are paying homage to these people who created this musical genre. And so I want to thank Dan Aykroyd for that and for giving me the chance to sing Minnie the Moocher with Cab Calloway. Thank you.